Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, June 14th. Many of the stories you will hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. On June 13th, the Osage Nation in Oklahoma registered its opposition to a U.S. government plan that would allow a wind farm to kill as many as 3 bald eagles a year, despite federal protection afforded the birds. The project, proposed by Wind Capital Group of St. Louis, would erect 94 wind turbines on 8,400 acres that the Osage Nation says contains key eagle nesting habitat and migratory routes. The permit application acknowledges that up to 3 bald eagles a year could be killed by the development over the 40-year life of the project. In the past, federal permits allowing a limited number of eagle deaths were restricted to narrow activities such as scientific research. But the Obama administration in 2009 broadened such permitting authority to include otherwise lawful activities like wind power developments. Now the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is seeking to lengthen the duration of those permits from 5 to 30 years to satisfy an emerging industry dependent on investors seeking stable returns. Conservationists say they support emission-free energy, but want the Obama administration to require rather than suggest that companies locate their turbines away from eagle habitat. A federal appeals court ruled on June 11th that a man can sue the state of Oklahoma over its license plates. The man, Keith Cressman, has argued that the state's standard license plate, which depicts a Native American shooting an arrow into the sky, goes against the separation of church and state. He sued a number of state officials in 2011. That lawsuit was initially dismissed in 2012, but has since been reinstated by the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. According to Tulsa World, the court ruled that the image of Allen Hauser's Sacred Rain Arrow sculpture, which is featured on 3 million license plates in the state, could be seen as an endorsement of a specific religion. Cressman, who told Tulsa World he adheres to historic Christian beliefs, argued that he shouldn't have to pay extra for a specialized plate that he does not find objectionable. Diane Clay, who serves as a spokeswoman for Oklahoma's Office of Attorney General, which is fighting the lawsuit, said in a statement, "Will continue to defend the state's position that Oklahoma's license plate design does not violate Mr. Cressman's constitutional rights." A bill seeking full federal recognition for the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina was introduced June 12th by U.S. Senators Richard Burr and Kay Hagan. U.S. Representatives Richard Hudson and Mike McIntyre introduced similar legislation in the House in April, which was referred to a committee on natural resources and then to the subcommittee on Indian and Alaska Native Affairs. The senators in a statement said the Lumbee Recognition Act is the same bill that has been filed during past congressional sessions. The tribe, with 55,000 members, is the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi. It has sought federal recognition since 1888. Congress passed the Lumbee Act of 1956, recognizing the tribe as American Indian, but denied its members financial benefits afforded to other federally recognized tribes. In 1989, the Solicitor General said that because the language in the Lumbee Act of 1956, the tribe could only be recognized through an act of Congress, which hasn't happened in more than 20 years. Tourists who have been denied access on the main road to the Grand Canyon Skywalk now have a way to get to the glass bridge, be it through a bypass route or a rancher's checkpoint. The Halapai tribe, which operates the Skywalk, received a federal permit to create a 3/4-mile route that will run adjacent to Nigel Turner's ranch. The temporary right-of-way separates traffic from heavy equipment being used to pave the stretch of Diamond Bar Road. It also allows tourists to avoid a fee Turner has imposed to drive through his property. Turner had shut down part of the road last week. He said he has reopened it and lowered the fee from $20 per person to $5 per car. Former University of Nevada women's basketball player Tani Robinson will join the U.S. All-Star women's team in Beijing to compete in the Four Nations tournament. The Four Nations tournament features the Chinese national B team, the Australia Rising Opals, and the national team of Hungary in addition to the USA. The team, organized and coached by Net Scouts Basketball, will play a round-robin format in 3 cities for a total of 9 games. The team will return to the United States on July 1st. Robinson was among the nation's scoring leaders with 22.1 points per game at Nevada in her senior year. She was drafted by the Phoenix Mercury in 2011 WNBA draft, becoming just the second Native American to play at that level. The guard averaged 16.5 points per game in Bulgaria this season. For more information on the games, you can check out netscoutsbasketball.com. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.